Hey there everyone, Hitesh here, your programming friend from YouTube, and thank you so much for showing support on my YouTube channel. Now let's move forward and carry forward our series on MongoDB. Now, the tough part is over. The installation was only the messier part, and I know most of you have already figured it out. Some of you might have faced some problems, but I believe you, I trust you that you have figured it out. Whether that's Stack Overflow help or any other help, you have done it. So now, the things that we are going to learn from this stage onwards are going to be ridiculously easy, and that's my specialty. I turn everything possibly, and I turn them up into absolutely easier. And MongoDB is no exception. Whether you have taken any database course in the past or not, it doesn't really matter. We're going to move forward. So, moving on to the slide presentations here. Installation on Mac is done, installation on Windows is done, and installation of Mac is almost similar to Linux. Here is a quick assignment for all of you. Maybe you want to get started with RoboMongo as well. Now, although in our entire course we won't be using the RoboMongo, probably later on just one video for like few minutes only. Apart from that, we won't be touching RoboMongo not much, but I have realized that sometimes students feel much more friendly when they are able to see the database itself. So that's why a jagged line is here, that it's totally optional, but in case you want to do that, there we go. So the tough part is all over. Now let's move ahead into the next big thing. Now, whenever we learn with the database, this concept is pretty much hard to grasp around for the new student that we're going to just learn about the Crud. Now, at first, when we look at this CRUD, by the way, that's an acronym for create, read, update, and delete operation that you will learn to perform. At first, for a student, it is so hard that I don't want to just learn the CRUD. I want to do all the deep operations that can be possibly done using any database. But trust me, my dear friend, anything that you do with the database, whether that's complicated or easy, is just CRUD operation. For an example, you like a video, that's also a part of CRUD operation. You upload a video, that's also a CRUD operation. You post the titles, you post the names, you write the comments, you show some love, you like the video, you dislike the video, maybe you delete the video, make the video private. Everything is CRUD operation, and that's really hard for a new beginner to grasp around that. No, that cannot be simply a CRUD. But yes, that is one form or the advanced form of the CRUD operation. Don't worry, we're going to go too much deep into that. Okay. So we're going to learn the basic 4 operations, and the best part is I will put an analogy here that how the exact same thing can be done in C++, in Python, in Ruby, in Node.js. I'll give you a brief idea of how everything, all of the languages can be covered. Not too much in depth, but yes, you will be able to figure it out. Okay, so the first operation is CRUD, which is creating. So whenever we create any new entry in the document or the database, it is a create operation, whether that's uploading a data, adding a title, adding a new information of student, or maybe a user, that's all create operation. Read simply means I want to get something from database, whether that is one information or many information. That is, I'm trying to read something from database. Maybe how many likes are there on videos, maybe how many views are on that video. So any information that I'm pinging the database for is a read operation. Another important one is update information. And the last two one here is update and delete are very crucial operation. You should never do them directly. Always be extra careful. With the update operation simply can be like, I want to change the thumbnail of my video. I want to edit the name of my video, or maybe I want to update the email of any user. So all these are update information. Last but not the least is the delete operation. Delete is really powerful. Just like you delete anything from your hard disk permanently and it's not recoverable, exactly same as the database. Once you delete anything, it's gone. It's done permanently. So always be extra cautious. There's a very bad joke in the IT world that if a coffee cannot wake you up, try deleting a table from the production. I'm not going to throw more bad jokes here. So let's move forward. So this is the create, read, update operation that we are going to explore here. Okay. Now, before we go ahead and do that, now go to your desktop and create a simple folder with the name of Mongo exercise here. I have also done the same, and here is my Mongo exercise. I will give you some of the exercise that you can follow through in this entire course, and I'll arrange them properly so that you can download only the one that you need for that particular video. So go ahead, create that. This is right now empty. Now go on to my website, learncodeonline.in, and slash MongoDB. Again, I repeat, it's not just slash Mongo, it's MongoDB, all lowercase. Here, I will update all the exercise files as we go through this with this entire course. So what we need for right now is this one here, which says click me. So I want you to download this file. So just click on that and I'm going to place it in my Mongo exercise desktop folder, save that. And now I'm going to unzip that because we are going to need that a little bit later. Unzip that. And it's a simple JSON file. I don't need this zip now, so I can move it to trash. And there we go, 01 student.json. We are going to explore that. So just fire up your favorite editor. Mine happened to be VS Code. It happened to be on my other screen. Where is this? There we go. And we are going to just open that up. There we go. Come on, you can be here. There we go. And what we're going to do is just drag and drop this one. Okay, now just keep it there. We are going to use it a little bit later. So just move it alongside or out of the screen here. Now, right now, our goal is simply just to work with basics of MongoDB. So we're going to learn a few commands here. So just minimize that for a moment. And I want to fire up my shell here. Now, whenever I say shell, I means it's a terminal, it's a command prompt. So make sure you open up yours as well. We're going to zoom that up a little bit. I hope it's much more visible now. Okay, let's move that up. Okay. And I'm going to type clear so that I can be on the top of the screen. There we go. Now, we are going to learn a few commands on MongoDB. The reason first we are exploring the shell, because once we understand the shell part, how we can do these CRUD operations through the shell, then I'm going to walk you through how you can do exactly same thing in C++, Python, Ruby, Java, Node.js, whatever is your thing. Okay, we are going to do something here. So we're going to say MongoD, which means I want to invoke the daemon of Mongo so that it keeps on running. If you're on Windows, make sure you watch the Windows installation video and make sure your MongoDB server is up and running. I'm going to press Command T to open up a new terminal. In case you are Windows, open up the command prompt and just move on new tab or however it works for you. And I'm going to say simply Mongo. There we go. And remember in the installation also, I told you that we are all looking for this tilde sign. So I'm going to just type a clear here. Oops, clear. And I guess clear is not working. Control L. There we go. Sometimes Control L works. Okay. Now, the very first command that we are actually going to work with database is show DBS. Show DBS simply means I want to see what are the all database being created in this system. In case your database are not exactly as mine, that's totally fine. We haven't worked on that. So don't try to match everything with me. So show database, make sure you note them down somewhere in your notes, is the first command that we are having. Now, obviously we need to create some database so that we can enter some data into it, fetch some data from it, update and delete some data from it as well. So here are quick tips about creating the databases. Now, everybody has their own way of naming convention. What I like to prefer is call the database as in plural, and inside that each data collection is the singular one. Everybody works with their own ways. There is no such thing like this is compulsory. No, it's not like that. So I'm going to call my database as students because I want to create, let's just say, a clone of Learn Code Online. So I'm going to use students here. Now, as soon as I do so, my MongoDB says switch to DB students. It has switched into the database students. But here's a quick neat trick about MongoDB. When I run this command again, show DBS, it's not going to show me DB database of students. That is being until and unless you save some data or add some collection into your database, it's not going to create any database for you. So you can create as many as you like, but until and unless you enter some data, it's not going to create one. So right now my database is already switched to students. So obviously I want to enter some of the data into it. Now, in order to enter any data, first of all, just write the word DB. And then remember I told you in the diagram that there is a database and inside the database there are some collections. So you have to name each of your collection here. I'm going to call this one as, student data. Now, make sure you're absolutely consistent with your naming convention. It should not be like one time you're writing D as smaller, one time you're writing D as capital. If you're going to do so, it's going to create multiple collections just like that. That's the one gotchas of MongoDB. So be absolutely consistent no matter what kind of naming thing that you are going to choose. Now the very first command is to add one data into it. So I'm going to say insert one and put a pair of parentheses. This is how it works. Now again, be absolutely consistent. In the student's data, you can be liberal and you can write all of that as lowercase, but in insert one, you cannot do so. The O in the one is always going to be in the caps. But what kind of data is it expecting to us? So for that, we are going to look into a little bit of the documentation of MongoDB as well as some of the exercise files. So first and foremost, where is my browser? There we go. So we're going to go on to MongoDB and we're going to search for it. Go on to this. We are going to go into the documentation of MongoDB. Now, don't worry. Learning from the documentation is always amazing. Don't worry too much about it. So we're going to go for servers. And there we go. We are going to look for MongoDB CRUD operations. Now, the good thing about these CRUD operation is that the way we are learning them. Once you learn that how you can work with this insert one on the shell, then you can easily manipulate that in any given language. So I'm going to click on this insert one and I'm going to try to read what kind of documentation is there and how it works actually here. So we can see there are a couple of things here that you can work on with. There's a try catch and all of that. So it's pretty nasty at first, but don't worry, I'll make everything super easy. So let's go back. And what I also want to tell you is MongoDB Shell as well. So you can get started with the Shell edition as well, in case you want to directly go up here and just want to work with all these things. Okay, so we have just gone through with the one thing. I know this is like too much. So let's go back into the CRUD operation and we can see that we have create operation. Don't go too much into it. Just look for these two operations. There is insert one and there is insert many. We're going to talk about them right now. So that's all what we wanted to see from the documentation. We can minimize that again. We've already gone through with here. Now here comes our downloaded file. I hope you have all downloaded it. And now here is a JSON object. Now quick word of caution. In MongoDB, you directly don't store JSON. It's a BSON data, which I will talk a little bit later, but right now just assume it's a JSON data. So what we want to do is we want to come up here in the insert one and we want to put a pair of curly braces and we want to enter the data from here. Now, this data inside this collection can have just one information or can have multiple set of information. So for example, here what I'm having is a JSON object. It is an array. We can simply say that by square brackets. And inside that, it is having two data here, two data sets. One is an object. We can see these curly braces in the pink, and another one is here. In case I have to get it like much more simpler version just for the teaching, I would be calling it something like this one. So let me bring up here. This is a simple array, and inside the array, I am having two objects. So this is basically the structure of my data. Similarly, we can have like many of them. So this is the structure of my data as of now. Okay. So moving further, in the JSON object, you always have key value pairs. The first one is key, which always should be inside the double quotes. And second one is a value. So key is here, value is here. Now the good thing about the value is it is not compulsory that value should always be in double quotes. There are a few exceptions, and those exceptions are in numbers and Boolean. There are a couple of others. We don't care about them much right now. So key is your name and your value is this guy here. So we have a collection in which we want to put student data, and that is name, email, contact number. Of course, that's fictitious, and course count, how many courses he has opted to learn and is a verified user or not. So these are the few flags that we have raised up. Now, one good thing about this insert one command, notice here, is that it only inserts one data. By the one data means this one curly brace only here, not the whole set. For whole set, we're going to walk through in the later on videos. So what we're going to do is we are going to copy this very first information here, which is name, email, contact, course count, and is verified. And here's the neat trick. Don't just copy and paste that, just copy it first. And now what we're going to do is come back onto the shell, delete this ending parenthesis and also these curly braces because we have already copied it. Now you can paste that. This whole information is being pasted, and now you can use this trailing parenthesis and hit enter. And as long as you see something like this, acknowledged true and inserted ID is object ID something, that means your data is inserted properly. Now when we are gonna walk through with the Mocha framework, remember the series name is MongoDB with Mocha, we are going to explore this object ID much more, and there you will understand that why it is a BSON data and not a JSON data exactly. Okay, so there we go. We have learned how we can add something into database. I know the video is getting too much long, but just one more thing, final thing that we want to do. We want to fetch some data that whatever we have inserted, just show me that. That's actually very simple command. db.student data, make sure you are consistent here, dot find. Find will give you all the data that is present inside the database in the collection of student data. As soon as I hit it, it gives me a big nasty object which is not so much readable, but we can do a one pretty here, which is pretty common. You'll see that all the database developers use that. There we go. And it gives much more readable syntax. So the video is almost already 16 minutes and counting long. So we're going to just pause down here and we're going to catch up into the next part of this video where we're going to explore more about this Mongo database. And told you, it's super simple.